Welcome back, everyone, to the Boundless Perception podcast. I know it has been a while, but we are back in full swing. Today, we have an upcoming awesome cosplayer who goes by the name of Foxxpromenade. I met her at Katsucon while she was cosplaying as Luna. You can see her video on my YouTube channel at Boundless Perception, or just go to my Instagram. Go anywhere you type in Boundless Perception, you'll find me. But anyways, back to the interview. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks again for having me. Like this is already super fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. We haven't even started yet, but you seem to be enjoying it. So, what have you been working on or doing, in the midst of all this quarantining? Is that a word? Quarantining? Yeah.
Quarantines.
Quarantines? Yeah.
Quarantidings.
Quarantinings. Okay.
Um, not really as much. If I'm being totally honest, I'm one of the people who my motivation's been really kind of sapped since the con schedule's kind of been deleted. But smaller things, I've got some small Sailor Moon cosplay things I'm working on, and I'm making an Oni mask just for the fun of it. So that's been fun.
Oni
Like,
from which? Because there's like tons of Onis.
Oni like a general demon mouth Oni mask.
Got it. Because like I'm a Street Fighter player, so every time I hear Oni, I always think of
Right.
Akuma, and yeah.
That's fair.
So well, that's cool though. What is that mask for?
For funsies.
Oh,
I think I'd
nice.
like to do something bigger with it. I just haven't picked a theme and color for it yet. I'm just it's something to do. I need to keep my hands busy before I forget how to make stuff.
I can understand that completely. It's like we have all this time right now to craft cosplays, and I'm sure nobody is crafting. And then, like a week before the convention, they're like, "Oh, I wish I had more time." And it's like we had a whole year.
It's tricky though. Like you think about the people who are like, "Oh, I work best under pressure." It's because you won't do it unless it's almost time for the deadline.
It's so funny because I was thinking to myself, because I'm, like I said, just working on a new cosplay. I'm getting into the crafting, and I'm like, there's no conventions. I have like 3 months, 4 months to start all this, and then I guarantee you, a week before the convention, I'm like, crap, why didn't I work on this stuff?
Yeah.
So
thinking about the cons of this summer, that like, oh well, Blerdcon would have been next month, right?
Yep.
And I was gonna do a whole weekend of these specific movie inspired blah 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 blah, and I was like, man, I have all the time in the world. I'm gonna be done by June. Have I started?
Yep. Yep. Congratulations, you're a human like the rest of us.
Yes, I am a connoisseur of procrastination.
Oh yeah, it's not easy to get to that title. I feel like it takes some work. So
Years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It took a whole lot of trying up to get up this hill. Yeah.
So who were you going to have ready had Blerdcon went down?
So hopefully I would have been able to bring back my Sango cosplay, because I would have been able to transport my boomerang. That's really the biggest issue with that one. I wanted to do a few movies for my mom. Her birthday is next month, and so I wanted to cosplay Leeloo from The Fifth Element, because that's our favorite movie together. I think I wanted to do Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice, Coraline. So just a lot of the movies that me and my mom really loved together. Some simpler ones. I was going to bring back my Luna and wear that, and then Jubilee from X-Men. Summer was going to be light. Like I was ready to really tackle multiple cosplays that didn't take me a month or two to do, but again, here we are.
It's okay. There's still plenty of time left. We're good.
Right.
But now that you brought up, many of your cosplays, specifically the Sango one I wanted to talk about first. If you guys haven't seen it, head over to her Instagram, Foxxpromenade. Actually, go ahead and spell that out for us.
Oh, yeah. It's Foxx, so 2 X's, Promenade. It's like lemonade, but with prom.
Exactly. It's an awesome cosplay. You guys got to go see it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you veteran cosplayer watchers like me grew up on Inuyasha, so you remember that big ass boomerang that Sango had. She completely replicated. So, like, how did you do this?
So the base is, it's actually, insulation foam is just chef's kiss, honestly.
Top shelf.
Absolutely. I got just a really large piece of insulation foam. I measured myself out because I knew I wanted it to be full scale and relatively wide. I spent too long looking at videos of boomerangs and how they were shaped and trying to figure out the curvature. And then I just carved it down. The carving took me just about half a day. And then you just multiple coats of wood glue and then priming it and painting it. And then I had some leather strips. I made the tassels myself out of embroidery thread.
Jesus.
I got some more insulation foam balls because I was too lazy to go find some styrofoam. And I carved them down, painted them red, and I attached it all, and there it was.
Very nice. And how long did this take you?
Off and on, because Katsu Crunch was in the midst of me also working full time, so I think it took me maybe like 2 days.
That's, every time you guys give these insane numbers to me, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm just starting, but they're like, oh yeah, I built this, whole cosplay or this massive boomerang in like 2 days. I'm like, how?
but I mean that when I say it took me 2 days, I didn't do anything else. I carved
That's
and carved, and then
crazy.
I coated and I coated, and I went and ate some pizza, and I came back and I coated and I coated, and you flip it over, and then you coat it and you coat it, and you're covered in all sorts of stuff, and then you clean, and then you paint, and then you have to coat it again, and it's really just, sometimes it's you either have time, you have money, or you have quality, and you get to pick two of them. It's like sometimes you can find the thing that makes it a little bit easier or faster to complete a task, or you can find something that maybe is more cost efficient for you, but just takes longer.
Yeah.
And your girl, mad broke. So we will always take, if possible, I will always take the thing that takes a little bit longer if I can do that.
Yo, trust me, I feel you on the being mad broke part. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the cosplay life is draining, and the
Mm-hmm.
reward as of right now is not very high. So,
Right. Maybe some endorphins,
you
you
know,
know?
or maybe like if they somehow make a machine that can convert your friends' likes into money,
Oh my gosh.
like, I'd be at like $5 or $10, but some of you guys. No, but so you were saying that you used, what was the name of the foam you used again?
It's insulation foam or insulation board. It's like those big purple sheets of foam that you can get at, we don't go to Home Depot anymore. He's canceled. You can go to, I think Lowe's also has insulation foam.
Oh, I know exact. It just, you know what? Like the two never went together in my head. I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking about now. Like, do you think that's better than EVA?
Well, so they're super different. Insulation foam it doesn't flex. It's a foam sheet. It's a board. I guess I should call it that. I should call it an insulation board. Um, I don't know what it's called. When I Google it, it says insulation foam. Um, but they're super different. But all the other armor on my Sango is EVA, or it's just craft foam. The shoulder pads and my knee pads and stuff were, I think, 5 millimeter. I think I used Yaya Han for that cosplay because I had it, and the smaller pieces like the cod piece in the front and then the piece in the back and some things, those were actually just 1 millimeter craft sheets that I got from like just Walmart, and then you just layer them up. And I did fabric on top of foam and then more foam on top of fabric, and it was just super efficient. They're flexible. If you baste it, so if it's hot and it messes up the shape, you can reflex it and kind of try to get it back into a decent shape. I love EVA foam. Like I won't talk mess about EVA foam ever. It's so versatile.
That's what I'm like, yeah, currently using right now. And then I've been finding like the hardest time getting everything to match up. Like, 90 degrees or just even
Yeah.
like, I swear, like I'll have the, I don't know, pattern or whatever cut out, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll cut out the EVA foam. I lay
Mm-hmm.
them down side by side, and then like I'll glue on one piece. And when
Mm-hmm.
I go to glue on the next one, it's not long enough or something. I'm like, how? This defies
Yeah.
physics.
Yeah. A lot. I'm not the best at keeping everything super symmetrical either. I'm the person who, I guess I'll just keep. It's like when you draw on eyeliner, and you just have to keep on trying to make it match, but then the whole eye is filled in because it never matched. That's me with cosplay all the time.
See,
Um,
I've never put on makeup before in my life, so
you should try it. It's
I,
fun.
I actually really want to because I wanted to do the cell shaded effect from what's the name of that game? Borderlands.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really fun style, and it's a good like a makeup style to start out with because it's really forgiving. If you make up some like extra hash marks here, or if it's not super clean, that's the style, so it'll still look really cool. Borderlands is art style's great.
I really want to do that. And I was watching a few YouTube videos on it, but it looks so complicated. But like my girlfriend was telling me, she's like, "Oh, that's basic makeup 101." And I was just like, "It's basic makeup 101, whatever." So
Your basic makeup 101.
exactly. So I don't want to hear that.
That's
So,
fun.
but cool. And so, well, another cosplay we can branch off into is your Luna, because that's what I actually captured you in at Katsucon.
Hmm.
Tell me about that one.
Oh, so I'm a huge Moonie. As a full disclaimer, I love Sailor Moon. I have Sailor Moon tattoos. I'm getting more of them, and I love Luna very, very much. So it was a really last minute decision. I didn't think I was gonna bring it. How did that keep on happening? I just made a lot of last minute decisions for Katsu this year, but it was a lot of math. Can I say that? It was so much math. I'm terrible at pattern making. And figuring out the skirt shape because it's like a high-low and it's a handkerchief shape and
Uh-huh.
making all these things. It was the first time making a dress like that. So I'm super proud of that cosplay because I patterned it myself and had the lining and all the seams were really neat and I was really proud of that one. And the wig was fire,
It was.
boy. It was so good. That's crazy. Where did I get that? Did I get that on Amazon? Or was it AliExpress? No, I think it was Amazon. Like
Uh-huh.
40 bucks.
Not bad.
Yeah, and
Not
you
bad at
just
all.
got the some styrofoam balls, paint them, wrap them in the hair because I didn't want to cut the wig, so I just wrapped it and pinned it to make the four little Odangos on top of her head.
Hmm.
And then I had some clip-on bangs, and the clip-on bangs were the same bangs as Sango's.
Very nice. You're like extremely creative too. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah, that's really cool. But you know what's going on? I haven't seen these pictures on your Instagram yet.
I know. My photographer's been pretty busy. And it was very just honestly shooting with her was great. And I'm not in too much of a hurry. I'm gonna try and do some self shoots to get some more Luna content up or get Luna content up, period. Um, so waiting on that one's just been a process. But with everything kind of going on, I haven't been too pressed and it was a free shoot too. So I'm just very excited for the art when it comes. But I could also take some initiative and take some more photos. So yeah, I'm a bum.
Oh no, it's all good. I mean, we captured it on video, so everyone, you can go see it on YouTube.
Please do, please,
Yes.
because the everything looks so good. Like you got the whole everything top to bottom looks really great, and being able to see the way that the dress flowed too is definitely something I wouldn't have been able to see in just pictures. So I'm very, very glad that I met you that day.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, we actually just literally met at Katsucon. So,
Hmm.
and if you haven't been, well, when it opens back up, hopefully in January we'll have Katsucon again. But it's an awesome convention. You have to go.
Yeah, if you love cosplay, if you love costuming and craftsmanship, that's Katsu's always been the con for that. That's why I always go really hard on Katsu.
Man, and like there's so many big names that came out. Like Leon Chiro was there.
Mm.
Wait, was Cutie Pie there?
Was she there this year? I don't know if I know King Kitsu was there.
Yeah.
In his amazingly beautiful Bulbasaur. It was so
Mm-hmm.
cute. I loved it. It was great.
Who I saw him? Oh, Alex Draws. Oh, I forget how you say his name. Alex something. Alex Draza. You guys will know who I'm talking about. He's another really big name, and he was there. I think as Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, but don't
Mm.
quote me on that. But
Hmm.
anyways,
Thou Art Anuli was there.
yeah, I love Doward Newley.
Actually, that's that. I got to meet her in person there, and I had an actual like I ran. I ran. I think I might have been crying a little bit, and she's just top tier human being. Perfect.
You
Just
know,
perfect.
where did I meet her at? I met her oh my gosh. I cannot remember where I met her at, but I had at the time I had no idea like, how big she was.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then when she told me her name, I was like, that name sounds really familiar. And we had a discussion, she went about her day, and I looked her up on
Hmm.
Instagram. I was like, Oh God, that was you. Like, you know, I guess it
So
just didn't hit me till after.
it's just everything she makes is just A1
Amazing.
quality. And she's so funny. She's got such a great personality. And so even that's the best thing about cons. That's the thing about cons. You know, you see people and they're just like faces,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you get to meet them, and you get to feel their energy for the first time. Like I met
Hmm.
Kiera Please for all of like 15 minutes at Blurred last year, and I was so starstruck. But she made me feel like she was honored to meet me, and I was like, how?
How? Do you know who you are? Yeah.
Do you know?
Have you seen a mirror? Someone get this girl a mirror.
Someone please help her.
Yeah,
Someone
help
tell her
her,
who she
please.
is.
Yeah.
Can someone tell her who she is, please? Please.
It's yeah. But you know, like I always have this tendency to put like a lot of cosplayers on this pedestal.
Right.
And like when I meet them, I'm like, I do forget sometimes, like, oh yeah, you're a human just
You're
like
just a
I am.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
You came here by choice.
Yes. Like you're a cosplayer, you know, like you eat, breathe, sleep just like I do. So
Right. You're checking your bank account right now too to see if you can also afford this McDonald's. So
man, let me tell you, you get what you can get, and then you go to the dealer's room, and I swear it feels like you're just a millionaire in there.
oh my gosh.
And then when you leave the doors, whew, it all hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that you get home and bills are due again, and the
Yeah.
escapism's gone, and
Yep.
all your endorphins are gone. There's no serotonin left in your body.
And I'm like, it's such a rush, you know. Every
Hmm.
time I get a new piece of art and they're like, oh, you know, 40, $50, and I swipe the card and that whole processing is just a rush. I'm like, will it go through? Will it go through? Like, come on, man. Come on.
You're just not breathing.
Yeah. And then it's like decline. I'm like, wait, try one more time. Try one more time. And they try it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I knew it.
Gosh, I cash at cons is probably always better for me. If I cannot pull my card out, it's safer because then I have a budget. When I run out of money, you're done.
You're done.
You're
Go
done.
home.
Do not pass go. Do not buy this wig. Don't buy this
uh,
collar. Don't buy this jacket. Don't buy this figure. That's enough. Go eat some food.
you're you know what? I need to like live by that rule. I never carry cash on me,
Oh
so
man. Yeah, it's one of those. My mom was always like that. She was like, not everybody's gonna take card, carry cash. And I was like, okay, sorry.
you know, older generation had a bit of wisdom to that. She was telling you that for a reason, more
Oh
so
yeah.
than just being stubborn.
Oh, for sure. Even like as an adult TM now, I can absolutely attest to having cash as a safety precaution is
You're
really
right.
better, for
And
sure.
like, but then like a whole new set of frustrations come along because you're like, but you know, like, I know I got the money, but I don't need to spend it. Like, you know, a whole
Yeah.
new mindset comes along when you
Oh
just can't
yeah.
get that instant gratification.
Welcome to cosplay.
Yeah. And welcome to level one.
Maybe I can eat ramen for the next 6 months. I could absolutely survive off that. That is feasible. It's
It's
doable.
very doable. That and like, you know, maybe visit like the pantry and like
All for
oh
the sake
man.
of my art. My
You
art.
know, you're committed and I
I
love
am.
it.
Yeah. But I try to advocate for, like, you called me creative earlier and I really appreciate that.
Oh
I
yeah.
try um to be as innovative, and like cosplay thrifting is my thing. That's my thing.
Hmm.
I've done a couple panels of it on it at cons, and like Luna. Actually, Luna's a pretty good example. No wait, Luna's the worst example. Shoot, I'm trying to think of an example I lost.
Maybe like I mean I was looking at your Instagram, like your Officer Ginny or your Princess Kita.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Yue, Princess
UA.
Yue from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hmm.
If I'm not including the wig was maybe like $20. This whole cosplay, I think, was $10.
Wow.
I
How
think
did
there
you
we
do
go.
this?
It's all made out of linen and sheets and bed sheets and things like that, and uh, hot glue and paper, and so like sew on buttons.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I had this huge haul. Man, I can't believe I didn't remember this till just now. I had this huge haul, and I went to a Goodwill outlet and found a whole bunch of like what they weigh it by they price it by the pound, and
Uh-huh.
I think I might have gone home with what could have been like 60, $70, $80 worth of fabric and material
God,
and things, and I got it for $22.
that is insane.
And that was things that I haven't even touched yet. Yeah, UA definitely only cost maybe like $30 total.
That's amazing, man, because
Mm-hmm.
like me not being a creative person like that, I'm like, oh, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy this. And other people are like, oh, you can just take, this aluminum foil and shape it into that, or I don't know,
But I
fix some
mean,
buttons.
yeah, but that's true. But again, it goes back to you can have time, you can have money, you can have quality. And
You're
sometimes you
right.
have to pick two. And some people you can really make it look like this thing was made out of just solid metal, and maybe
Mm,
it's paper mache. It's a learning process. Sometimes you learn these things out of necessity.
you're right.
I've definitely I was in a point where cosplaying was still really good for me emotionally and mentally, but financially, I had to really start to scrape to figure out how I could still make costumes when I really just had no money because I needed it for like my soul.
Hmm.
So I learned about all the ways you can thrift, repurposing and refurbishing costumes. My Blue Diamond is like that. My Blue Diamond is a bunch of like hand-me-down Nigerian fabrics I got from my brother-in-law. Um,
Wait,
and
are
things
you
like that.
Nigerian?
I'm not. No.
Oh.
No. Just
Oh,
just for the sake of accurately describing what the fabric I used was.
okay.
No. I'm Texan. That's it.
Oh, okay. No, that's really cool though that like, that you found a way despite, financial situations. Because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm just taking a year off from cosplay because I have to get my finances in order. And you're like,
Hmm.
no, I'm going to handle my business, but I'm still going to find time to, enjoy my passion. So I think that's
Hmm.
really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about your Shigo?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Taking it
She.
back.
Yeah, man. So I can't even actually take too much credit for Shigo. Um, my best friend made Shigo.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Absolutely. Kimmy Cosplay and Design. She's my Nurse Joy in my Officer Jenny pictures.
Ah, got it. Okay.
So we patterned it and did the thing and cut the pieces and all that jazz. So the costume itself was definitely more. That was for sure. That was her. But it was really fun.
That's another cosplay I always love because I was a huge Kim Possible fan.
Oh
So
yeah.
like yeah, like every time I see Kim Possible, Shigo, Power Rangers, like Cowboy Bebop, a lot of the classics, I'm like, oh, I have to get your picture.
Hmm. I want to do it
So
again someday. So like now that I'm much better at body paint and face paint,
hmm
so much better, I could do this again.
yeah, like that picture on your Instagram post from 2017. So like you've like leveled up a few times since then.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the past 2 years have been like mega glow up. I don't know how I did it.
That's
Uh,
really awesome.
it's the power of good friends.
And like good creation skills though people appreciate good work too.
Thank you.
Yeah, like your Sango video has like a ton of likes, so I mean it was
Oh,
a good cosplay.
ah, I Talca is he's so great, and I'm telling you, it's such a collaborative effort. And when people say that they like what I do, I can't even. I don't mean to be humble to a fault, or like modest to the point where it's dismissive of what I'm doing. But I cannot help but credit everything that I do to really great photographers and really great directors and people who come like obviously uh, like Cusco is probably like my biggest one. But
Oh yeah.
I can't pose. I am not a model. I am not a model, and it's just people who know how to direct and people who can make me feel comfortable uh, being there in my costume and feeling confident in myself. It's great, and I'm just so fortunate and blessed to be able to work with such amazing people so I can show my art like this.
That's really cool. Shout outs to all the people who helped the pop stars get to where they are.
Absolutely. I would be nothing without you.
And so you were talking about Cusco, right? That's how you say his name, Cusco.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Did you make that one, or you said your friend also made that one?
Actually, so I made this one,
Okay.
but she helped me through this because I learned. She taught me so many new techniques and ways to do this, and it's such a I don't know, the sewing part. It's such a simple cosplay, right? It
It
looks
is.
so
It
simple.
looks, yeah.
But I learned like piping and something about like this corner sewing thing, and I experimented with painting when I made his collar and his crown. I've made that collar and crown like 3 times. They're These collars and crowns are not the same when you see them in the different shoots. They are different collars and crowns.
I would have never get secrets of the trade, I guess, because I'm looking at the pictures now and I could not tell.
It's yeah, but that was Emperor's New Groove is my favorite Disney movie.
Hmm.
And it was also the first time that I got to like just cosplay a boy.
Hmm.
It's not a crossplay, and so it's really emotional when you're sewing and you've been sitting at the sewing machine for hours trying to make the simplest line, and you've messed up 20 times, and you're like, well, okay, I guess I can't make a poncho, so I'm just gonna give up on this. But it's it's so good. We made linen fabric look like something, royal, and it's easily probably my most it's a really good accomplishment for me,
Yeah.
for sure.
Did you learn sewing just for cosplay, or did you know that you have that skill before?
I started learning how to sew when I was 13.
Ah, nice.
Um, I watched a Mary Kate and Ashley video as a child that said, "Hey, you like fashion? You want to learn how to do this?" And I said, "Heck yeah!" Um, I started out in as a fashion design major when I went to university.
Mhm.
So I had sewing classes. Did not do well in those sewing classes.
Mhm.
It's a high level of craftsmanship. People just think you can just learn how to sew and you just know how to sew. It's technique and it's time and it's
Man,
I
that
don't think
crap
I'm
is
a master
hard.
sewer. It is.
That crap is
I'm not.
hard.
I won't tell anybody I'm a great sewer because I'm not. If you look on the inside of my costumes, that's
It's
a
like
whole different. That's a whole different thing.
it's a whole different animal going on in there.
Absolutely.
I love that because a lot of times too, I meet some people, like I always say that now. Of course, I can't think of anyone, but I just meet lots of cosplayers and I'm like so just in awe. And especially
Yes.
I really like armor builds.
Hmm.
And I'm like, how the hell did you do this? Like, it just looks flawless. And they're like,
Hmm.
dude, and they like, take off their arm and show the inside. And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, what happened in there? They're like, yeah.
Yep.
So like it just goes to show, that like experience comes along with the craft, and
Right.
it's all about the final product and not how it all comes together, not the journey. Well, that sounds terrible. It's about the journey and the final destination. But
Right. Right. It's
you
all about what you as a cosplayer prioritize.
yeah.
I have a lot of friends who do my the love of my life, Sonia Blade cosplay is
Hmm.
just she's done multiple competitions, and so her ability to understand the needs for craftsmanship and to take her time and making sure you have to, obviously, because that's the craftsmanship is why competitions and cosplayers who enter competitions are on this different level, because they care about what the inside really
Yeah.
looks like, because
Yeah.
they have to show people what the inside looks like.
Mhm.
um and it's I've never competed. I don't think I've ever competed in a cosplay competition for craftsmanship for my cosplays. I've done like performance skits. I've been judged for performance, but please do not look at my seams. I cannot help you if you look at my seams.
Like, did you ever get really discouraged when you were trying? Like you said, you had to start over 20 times or so. Were you ever
Oh
just like,
yeah.
to hell with this?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How
Um
did you overcome that? And like, like you see the final picture and you're like, I'm not backing out of this journey.
um I, I don't mean to do this again, but like my friends.
Okay.
It's just having a support system in cosplay and in this community, especially when I first started out, I had a lot of people neg me,
A lot of
and
people say that again.
like they negged me and
Oh,
told me that there were things that I couldn't do, or you shouldn't try to make this. You should just do this the easy way. And so I feel like when you stunt yourself because people treat you like you can't do something, you tell yourself you can't do it either. But then it takes time, and it takes more people showing you like, wow, I think this thing you did amazing. It is amazing. How did you do this? Like what we're doing right now. I can't tell you are boosting me real hard, dude.
well, I'm
I
glad.
I just I'm in awe of other people often, and it's the ability to feel inspired that motivates me to keep going, and passion projects and feeling fulfilled, even if it's not going to be the best thing I've ever made. I can still say that it's the best of this thing that I've made, and if I
That's
try it again, then I can make it better.
yes. That's so cool. Like I'm really having a hard time with that. Like learning to be okay. I guess essentially with everything not being the best, that eventually it will be.
Yeah,
Because I'm just like,
yeah.
I want to pick up this skill. I want the very first time to be, cosplay amazing, worthy,
Right,
everyone to admire it. And I make it. I'm like, that was terrible. And I'm like, you have to learn. This is a skill like everything else.
right.
So,
Absolutely.
you know,
And people who draw, and people like, oh my god, I wish I was as talented as y'all. And like, okay, well, I've been doing this for 20 years.
yeah, exactly,
I've been drawing
exactly.
for 20 years. Just you gotta practice.
Yeah, it's
You
gonna.
have to practice.
Calm down, young blood. It's gonna be a minute.
Calm down. Here's the pencil.
Yeah,
Uh,
like what? Speaking of that, like I'm not sure how old you are,
I'm
but like,
27. I just turned
okay,
27.
all right. So I'm a little bit older than you, not by much, but a little bit. And I don't know if you remember the pencil sharpeners where you had to like go to the front of the class and do like the hand crank, and you like,
You mean the source of all of my childhood anxiety? Of course I do.
yes, right. And so
God.
I'm like, I've told, I mean, I can't draw, but I just still love to, grief some of my friends who can.
Yeah.
And they're, man, I want to be a great drawer. I'm like, when you learn what one of these are, that's my friend when you are ready
That's
to
that's
be a
that's when
good
you will
drawer.
know.
Yes, that's when you have enough experience under your belt.
Oh man. But oh gosh, remember when you used to just grind that thing down and you would pull it out and you look at it, it's lopsided, you have to put it back in, you pull it out, it's still lopsided, and you put it back in, and you pull it out,
Yes.
and now it's an inch long. And you don't even have a
Good
pencil anymore.
times. I know. And like, walking up to that thing was like where you show off all your clothes and everybody's eyeing you. You don't want to trip.
Ew.
Like it was
Ew.
it
Next.
was a lot. Yes.
Next topic.
Come on, we gotta bring back those good memories. Kids nowadays, I
Oh
don't think
my
they can
gosh.
handle that kind of pressure.
I hated elementary school. I hated it. Oh my gosh. Especially I was so into anime. Oh my gosh. Playing Sailor Moon at recess and
Hmm.
having these kids come over and just shit on me and my friends
Yeah.
because we wanted to be Sailor Scouts. And they would kids are really just horrible. But that's okay because I'm fly as fuck now. So
Right?
guess what?
Exactly.
It's good.
Exactly. It
It's
all
fun.
came full circle, and those kids are probably like depressed and fat. I really hope they're not, but at the same time, I hope they are. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It's okay to be depressed and or fat. Just don't be a bad person.
true,
Just
true.
don't be a bad person. Don't make fun of kids who like Sailor Moon, okay?
Or yeah, I mean, like I said, growing up in that time period, I've had that discussion with many people on the podcast, and like,
Yeah.
man, like it was rough, like in anime back in the day. Like in the days of Toonami and having to download anime on Napster and LimeWire. Man, those were some rough days.
Triggered. Yeah, I was actually I watched this really awesome video essay the other day about just Toonami really, and the way that mainstream media, American media, broadcast, Turner Broadcast, Cartoon Network, and 4 o'clock blocks of watching anime in the middle of the day, and how that absolutely brought the surge. So that's why it's so much easier for kids now to be like, oh yeah, I like what animes are out now? I like Demon Slayer.
You're like My Hero
I
Academia.
like My
Yeah.
Hero because you can have this huge collective so much easier of people. When Toonami was on, I did not have a lot of friends who I talked to who were watching Toonami with me. I was at home in front of the TV on the floor by myself
Me too.
watching
Me
Yu Yu
too.
Hakusho and
Yes. Or
just
like Paranoia Agent, watching a bunch of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
I was too young to watch Paranoia Agent. I
Oh,
was
we all were. That was a rough series.
too young.
Yeah. I think I'm still too young to watch Paranoia Agent.
I was too young for Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh man.
I was too young. I don't think I was too young for Dot Hack Sign. I'm a huge fan of the original Dot Hack Sign.
Yeah, that
But
hack was okay.
I went back and watched that just a few months ago.
Nice.
And I got like 10 episodes in. I think I'd cried 4 times and I said, okay, maybe
Maybe this is not for me.
maybe this isn't the time.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I've gone back and I've watched a few of the series that I watched as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and man, it's like, now that you get some of the stuff, you're like, yeah, I was not ready for this at like
Mm-mm.
10 years old.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like, oh, that's why I'm like this. Makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Like talking about old anime and how elementary school was not good. I was the first time I almost got in huge trouble in elementary school was because I was watching too much Outlaw Star, and Twilight Suzuka was my favorite character at the time. So, I thought that growing up, becoming an assassin and getting revenge on your childhood bullies was a very appropriate thing to tell said childhood bullies while they were talking to you. If you're bullying me and I tell you that I'm going to grow up and train for years so I can become an assassin, hunt you
That's
down and kill
really
you,
funny.
I guess I really didn't think they were going to go tell the teacher.
I mean, I feel like you got your point across though.
Yeah, I did.
And I feel like they left you alone after that.
A little bit.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, we're kind of done with this whole bullying thing. You kind of changed our lives.
Yeah, or let's stay away from this chick before she stabs us with a 1-inch pencil.
Because I used to watch Fist of the North Star.
Oh,
And
yes.
oh yeah, dude, I was man. After watching those episodes, I was ready to take on the whole school. I was like, the principal's gonna get it, the teacher, everyone's gonna get a piece of this.
These hands are rated E.
Everyone, future generations, everyone's gonna get some of it. And I was like, I can kill you in like one punch.
Oh my
They're like,
gosh.
what? What the hell?
See, oh man, what were we even talking? See, tangents. Or
Yeah, I know. We completely. Yeah, I have no idea what we were talking about before
I'm the
this.
queen. Cons. Whatever topic your show is actually about.
Yes. Well, moving back onto that, what conventions are you looking forward to when con season returns?
Well, okay. If this is my super super optimistic forecast, Katsu 2021 for sure.
I pray.
Just because as hard as people usually go for Katsu, the moment we know for a fact that nothing is going to be wrong, everyone is going to pull out their biggest, most elaborate builds.
Yes.
It's gonna be super. It's good. It's good. Orgasms the whole weekend.
Completely.
It's gonna be really, really great.
Completely.
Dragon Con, I know is I'm not going this year. I was going with some friends, but we did decide before they told us no that we were just going to go ahead and say, obviously, we're not going to be doing this. But to go to such a huge con there, Blerdcon 2021.
For sure.
Blerdcon 2021.
For sure.
The fam's going to get back together. We'll be together again soon. I promise y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's tricky. I'm trying to think of. It's so hard to forecast these things. I'd like to go home to Texas for some local cons there.
Oh, where are you down?
Oh, I'm in Delaware. I'm up in the DMV.
Gotcha.
Right, it's DMV.
Yeah. So like Katsu wasn't too far from you.
No. Yeah. I'm very fortunate because before when I lived in Texas, I had to fly all the way up to come to these cons. Yes,
like you
man.
flew all your props and everything?
Well, no, but like I said, back then, I wasn't carrying anything big. I wasn't bringing
Oh,
big props. I wouldn't make a big prop to put on a plane
okay.
because something bad always happens.
Of course, because
Um,
TSA doesn't care about our
oh
passports. Yeah.
gosh, my first Sailor Pluto cosplay back in like what 2016, they absolutely obliterated my Pluto staff. And I said, well, never doing this again.
God, that makes me so annoying. Ah, so mad.
Yeah.
But
I can't really
anyways,
think of any. Sorry, I was a terrible answer to your question.
no, you're good. Dragon Con, Katsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm praying, like I said, convention season will be back in full swing, and
Yeah.
I'll probably be at a Katsu.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon. I've gone to Dragon a lot of times, and honestly,
Oh
it's
wow.
too spread out for me. I really,
Oh.
yeah, like I liked Katsu because it was in one hotel,
Oh, I see.
but Dragon Con is like 4 blocks or something
Right.
like that.
But the
And
con's also like a week.
that is true too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot for me. But aside from those two, of course, Momo. I love MomoCon.
Oh yeah, I've never been to MomoCon. I'd really
Oh,
love to go to MomoCon.
MomoCon is awesome, awesome.
Um,
Um,
Holiday
it,
Matsuri in Florida. I'd like to
yes,
attend that.
I who shout outs to Dark Hyperion. Yes, he was
Mm.
the one who told me about that one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So he maybe I can hit that one, but definitely AWA. Uh,
Mm.
and of course Blerdcon. Um, that's all I got at the moment though. If con
Right.
season comes back, as conventions are expensive.
Right. And that's probably one of the reasons why it's so hard to, forecast when there's a lot of like financial uncertainty. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I
yeah,
think about like, could I have even afforded going to Dragon Con this year and then coming back and then feeling secure enough with the way everything is to not get kind of effed? Because that's what happened with Katsu. I was like,
yeah,
all right, we did this. We went hard. We're about to come back. We're about to make all this money and save all this money. Just kidding, girl. Your job is closed. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
what?
It's like I got time to recoup to get ready for the next convention, and it's just like, yeah, everybody's laid
Oh,
off.
my.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
summer 2020 really hit different.
So, well, of course, unfortunately that did happen to a lot of people. Did
Mhm.
that ever make you think about trying to go full time with cosplay?
Um, the reason why I would say no is the same reason why I think I've always never thought that I could uh pursue cosplay as like my profession. Um, I think that as a cosplayer, what I bring this doesn't sound weird. What I bring to the table as a cosplayer is maybe me as an individual, my persona. I don't have the best craftsmanship right now. I don't do amazing, really in-depth tutorials for people to learn from. Um, I don't know how to do really great self shoots, and I don't make a lot of sellable content and things. But the big thing is, I cannot market myself worth a Doug Dimmadam. I can't do it. Um, Maybe that has to do with some self confidence issues. Yes, it does. And a lot of it's a kind of just marketing and sales and content creation,
Wow.
deadlines like that, and
Yeah,
things. I could maybe do it on a smaller scale, but I don't know if I could ever turn cosplay into my full time job or to be my career.
I got you. That's really okay. That's very what's it called? I got really good inner reflection and to be like, yeah, maybe not at this moment even, but maybe even later on, but
Right.
definitely, yeah.
Once I find something, I mean, I don't know. Also, I don't even get it. That, I don't get it. Like I think again, I bring her up all the time because I love her. I love her so much. Sonia Blade. Um, and she is on it. You want to talk about people who haven't actually really been working throughout this quarantine? My baby has been on it. She's got a really great She-Ra cosplay. She's going to blow our wigs
I know
back with.
exactly who you're gonna say.
Who?
Coco Sugar.
No, not Coco Sugar, but she's
Oh.
A1. She's amazing. Oh my gosh, and she's so kind. I love it.
Oh, extremely.
Her Luna, she posted a Luna recently, and I just, mwah, just perfect. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she was actually the only person I had scheduled for Katsu for
Mm-hmm.
shoots, and I did a video of her too. So
Man,
free,
you got
yeah,
me on
but
her page right now. You want to talk about just
oh yeah,
craftsmanship?
she's ridiculous. Like the first time I saw her was actually after she won at Blerdcon.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, that was the first time I met her, and she had the Princess
Tiana.
Tiana,
Yes.
and I was like,
Oh,
oh, that is and she was like, yeah, I put on all these rhinestones individually. I was
yes.
like, oh hell no,
And she
but
dyed. She dyed that mesh
yeah,
herself.
yes, she told me that,
Oh,
and
amazing.
I was like, girl, like I understand why you won because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, wig blown back,
Yes,
just for
yes.
sure.
Wait, but no, who are you gonna mention?
Oh, I was still talking about Sonia. I'll talk
Oh,
about
Sonya Blake.
I'll talk about Sonia for an hour. So, um, but yeah, like diligence and that kind of self discipline, and I don't know. That's just not. I don't know. I guess I don't think I can. But that's no, dang it. I'm rambling about this. Remember how before you had said something to me about thinking that I'm more impressive than I think I am.
Yeah.
That's just the general thing. Like, how do I if I was going to make a piece of art and sell this piece of art, I have to be confident in the content that I've made and the quality that I'm selling this for. I don't know how
Hmm.
to sell me.
I understand that. You don't really know how to represent yourself just yet.
Yeah, I always say that if I could hire a social media manager, I could
Hmm.
do it professionally.
I gotcha.
That could have been the shortest answer. Could have just said that first.
Nah, I like like I said, it's all about the journey sometimes.
Someone who can kind of keep me, okay, well, Simone, the algorithm's against you. You have to be posting in a timely manner to make sure that it still moves so you can
Hmm.
keep circulation. You have to check your reach and you have to make sure your numbers are in check in. Social media for me, I've never been that way. I've
Hmm.
always preferred to see and not be seen. Um,
Yep, that's why I became a photographer.
the concept of being perceived and analyzed, and I look at all these, like we look at all these people and we put them on this pedestal and that's super amazing. I just don't know if that's where uh if I want that kind of notoriety.
Okay, I
So
got you.
I like my art for my art, and I notice anytime I try to put a dollar sign on my art, I can't do it anymore. I just stop doing it.
You know, I get it. I really
Yeah.
do.
So that's why we need to be following these other diligent, beautiful, wonderful creators, like Sonia Blake cosplay.
Actually, now, like, I'm glad you brought her up. I'm gonna reach out to her to see if she actually wants to do an interview too.
She
So,
is phenomenal, and she's great for talking. She's so great. I listen to her all day. She's great.
well, unfortunately, we were out of time for today. I know,
Mm-hmm.
like, that really felt like it blew by. At least for me, it did. But I always like to end every episode on who do you look up to in the cosplay world?
Zero Suit Sammy is the first one that comes to
Yep.
mind.
Hmm.
Um, she is such a multifaceted creator, and she's so kind. Oh man, give me like I'm gonna get like one more at least. Oh, falafel cosplay. You
I
ooh,
do not know that one.
yes, she does so many great cost tests, and she does series of things. She's got a bajillion Animal Crossing looks, and they are all fantastic. She's super sweet, and she's so funny. She has a Nicki Minaj music video of her as Isabel from Animal
Hmm.
Crossing.
Yeah.
um Her craftsmanship, she's always down for learning. She works really really hard. She's always up, she's up on it. She really stays on her game, and I appreciate how much work she puts in and how she's such a light, and she's got a great disposition to people that she meets. She's so great.
It's really cool. I'm actually, yeah, I have never heard of her before. Falafel
Mm-hmm.
cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
So cool then. All right. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to talk with us. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. I hope that it's like if you have to edit it, it's not a nightmare. But
Oh
I
no,
this was a great conversation just overall. You've got a great energy and you're a great host. So thanks again, man.
thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Of course.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. That's going to do it for today. As always, stay boundless, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.